We are live. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of UCL Matchday. I'm joined again by FPL Mo. I think the last stream was very enjoyable. We had a lot of interesting discussions, and also the chaos towards the end when we got all the lineups was just insane. Unfortunately, or fortunately rather, that's not going to happen again because the only lineup we would be getting before deadline for Matchday 9 is Stade Brestois versus PSG. So we'll wait for those lineups, but in the meanwhile, we can chat in general about stuff that we already know. So before that, let me welcome Mo to another episode. Hey Mo, what's up?
Yeah, hello JD. Thanks for having me again. I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, as you said, the stream we did last week was great. Had a lot of fun, and yeah, the chaos was also very annoying but very fun at the same time. So yeah, I'm glad to be here again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very good sort of categorization of what happened.
Last week was great.
So just going to I've already posted some stuff which is sort of rotating through the screen for anyone interested. I think when I was finalizing the model yesterday, two things that came to my mind were change in penalty takers. One is pretty obvious that Colomwani is now the penalty taker for Juventus, or rather the main penalty taker. And I think the second piece of information is Quintin Timber is now the penalty taker
Yeah,
for Feyenoord, which is probably
yeah, because Jimenez left. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So that's probably quite fortuitous because they actually got a penalty after Jimenez left, which is actually not that long, right? Since he moved to AC Milan, but they managed to get a penalty, and it was Timber who took the penalty. Excuse me. Now, one thing I have to point out, which is that Calvin Stengs was not on the pitch. He's injured, but I think the injury is not short term. So for the next two match days at least, I think Quentin Timber should be on penalties.
yeah. That's very interesting. That's very nice.
I don't think any one of us are going there, right? Because they're playing Juventus and a very stingy team as it is. So I suspect we are not going to go
Yeah,
there.
probably. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just go run through your team. You sent me your team yesterday. There are some things that might change. Obviously, will change based on information that we receive. We are hoping that Real Madrid are chat enough once again to post their lineups well before the deadline. So there's a slight chance we'll get them before the UCL Fantasy deadline, but I doubt it because I think that's too far before kickoff for the 8 o'clock games in UK. So yeah, just do you want to run us through your thought process where you are right now with this draft? Have things changed?
Yeah, so I think like the draft has mostly stayed the same. Like I actually have not transferred out anybody, so that's still my 15 at the moment.
Hmm.
Like the staples of the team are definitely quadruple PSG and quadruple Bayern,
Yeah.
more specifically triple attack and a
Yeah.
defender.
Yeah.
I think that's like yeah, that's pretty like the way the fixtures are. I think it's pretty clear decision at the moment. Maybe you could argue for double defense for one of the teams, but I think it's probably better for this way because I think the mids are not that great to be honest
Hmm.
outside of
Yeah.
PSG and Bayern.
Yeah.
Like PSG and Bayern have the five midfield picks from them are fantastic, and outside of that, it is that the pool of players isn't that great. So I think it just makes it a pretty comfortable pick, I'd say.
Yes.
I think like other than that, I think like anything could change to be honest, but because like there's a few. I think actually I'll probably keep Mbappe. I think I want to have Mbappe, but
Hmm.
other than that, I think anything could change. I think the three defenders that are not PSG or Bayern Munich could change. The third striker, which is Vinny at the moment, I think could easily change. And yeah, I think like outside of the two prime fixtures, it is pretty close. Outside of that, like there is not as high, not as much of a difference between the other picks as there is between the PSG and the Bayern picks, in my opinion.
So very interesting point, Pelifred. Welcome, by the way. So Thanks everyone for joining, and I think more people will pour in and out as we go through the stream. Uh, Here he pointed out a very interesting thing, which is that you have double Monaco defense. So what's the thought behind that? Because I was trying to we can probably quickly bring up. So these are projected goals, and if I look at Benfica is not. I mean the fixture is not that great, right, for Monaco. So what's the thought process behind that?
Honestly, I mean, if you could if I had enough confidence in who would start from Atalanta, I think
Yeah, yeah,
I'd have more
yeah,
Atalanta defenders. But the
yeah,
issue is Atalanta's goalkeeper is currently injured. I
yeah.
think Kornesecki
Kaniseki is
is
injured.
currently injured,
He's
and he will probably and he
yeah. It's not we are not sure if he's going to make it, and going Rui Patricio is just very short term, right?
Yep, exactly. That's
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
if I had if I was confident Rui would start both games, I think I'd definitely go there.
Hmm. Makes sense.
And if I was confident and if I was confident that someone else from Atalanta defense would start both games, I would go there. But as I'm sure we will discuss, of course, Atalanta is like trying to pick fantasy players from a Gasperini team is like hell for sure.
No, it's
So
not
yeah, I
just that,
think
right? Because I was also thinking about they perform very well in games, especially where they are favorites. So it becomes even more infuriating because you know you can capitalize on their let's say the disparity in team strengths, but the problem is who do you pick in order to do that? For example, if you go back to your team, you have Belanova right now. I have Zappacosta and Hien, and I think Hien is the only one who is probably nailed to start. I don't think anyone else from that defense is 100% guaranteed to start both legs. So it's very difficult to
yeah,
predict what the lineups are going to be, especially because now they have Stefan Posch as well. And I was hoping that Posch would be nailed because he has excellent underlyings. And when I did the modeling for uh, Euro 2024, even though he was playing for a fairly weak team in Austria, he was still popping as an asset. So I was hoping that he would be nailed, but I don't think that's the case.
yeah. That's actually that's a very good point. And as well, he's playing like center. He's playing third center back, but I guess
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Hmm.
matter if he was nailed. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
Fair,
wouldn't
fair.
matter if he was nailed.
Hmm.
But yeah, as you say, there is a chance he isn't nailed.
Hmm.
But yeah, I want to tell you something funny. I looked at Atalanta's minutes in all competitions this season.
Hmm.
Yesterday when trying to pick the draft, when trying to make a draft,
Hmm.
just to have an idea which defender is likeliest to start.
Hmm.
So as you say, Hien has the most minutes. Um, then there's Kolasinac, but of course he's out injured at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is the wing backs, Zappacosta, Belanova, and Ruggeri. So these are the three that mainly that have accumulated the most minutes.
Yes.
In terms of 90s, Zappacosta has 21.6 90s in all competitions. Belanova has 20.2, so pretty much exactly the same. So and Zappacosta could play, I think, could play both flanks, Belanova on the right and Ruggeri on the left. So it's actually pretty much impossible to pick one, which is yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I think
in my
that's
current
probably
draft, I have
resolved, right?
Belanova, but
Because Ruggeri is probably out. He was ill yesterday and he didn't train. So there's a. I think
okay.
also I saw some vague source saying that he didn't travel. So there's actually a chance that Ruggeri is out, which means you have less competition for those spots.
Yeah, actually, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
I saw him on the bench on the last game in Serie A, and I just assumed he was fine. But yeah, okay,
Hmm.
that changes things for sure.
Yeah. Also, just to
That
point
definitely
out,
changes things.
in your draft, you have Theo and Vanderson who are both on 2 yellow cards. One more yellow card and would mean that they would be suspended for the next game.
Okay, thanks. I knew Theo had it, but I actually
Yeah.
didn't know this Vanderson did. So
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you for alerting me.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah,
So, like you said, it's and let me quickly go to my team as well, just to show or illustrate the point that it's uh, like Mo said, the three Bayern and the three the three Bayern attackers and the three PSG attackers are pretty much locked for me. Uh, uh, I have Theo for now, but I'm going to switch him to either Gatti or again, that's the case. Like, I would like to go for another Atalanta defender, but I don't know who I would go for. Uh, we saw that probably De Gregorio is going to play. Again, I don't know if it is an extremely reliable source, but it's a source that a lot of people have referred. So I'm assuming that there's some weightage to that. And like Mo said, the second goalkeeper spot is very suspect anyway, because you don't want to have a Bayern goalkeeper or any other goalkeeper. So yeah, Miguel Ferreira is saying, yeah, rumors that company is considering resting one of Kim or Upamecano. I know that, yes, I read that, but I would still go for Kim because I need one defender for the home game, and if he doesn't play this game, I'm pretty sure he would play the next game. So I'm still going to go for him because there's no alternatives. Like, you need alternatives, right? If this were the group stages, it's fine. I don't know what you think, Mo.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Like, I mean, after what happened last time out, I can't tell you Guerrero is a good option. I guess, someone. Yeah, like, I mean, if Kim actually gets rested this time, could be just and you pick up Upamecano, could just happen the other way around
Yep.
in the
Yep.
other game, So
Yep.
I think probably I think I'm probably on the same page as you, and I'm probably just gonna risk it with Kim. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
think
there's some part of me that thinks, come on, man, surely he cannot afford to rest these players, and this is such a crucial tie for them. It's not as if everything is done. For sure, I mean, as of now, I think Celtic supporters are still banned from traveling to the away game because they were warned and they still had a lot of pyrotechnics in their last game. So UEFA have banned them, but they've appealed that ban. So I don't know what the result of that appeal is, but right now we are going to have no Celtic supporters for the away game. So I mean, again, this doesn't change much, but I just want to have four Bayern players in place for that game.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
And as you said, like I don't think he'll have. I don't think he can just go overboard with the rotation.
Yeah.
In a Champions League away game, even if Celtic aren't, the strongest opposition, but still, it's still a knockout game and still away.
Yep.
So anything can happen. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I think
That's facts.
I think I'm personally just risking Kim and hopefully it pays off.
So, Fred, by the sorry, Fred, I missed one of your messages earlier. So he's saying, wonder if Pulisic is still on pens. Honestly, I think he is, just because there's no reason to change the status quo. But there is some uncertainty, right? I mean, what would you say, Mo?
Yeah, there definitely is uncertainty. Like Jimenez could just take, but I mean, I would side with Pulisic because he hasn't missed, he hasn't done anything wrong, so I think he should keep them.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely not. Like if Pulisic's pen share was like 0.8, it's probably now like 0.7. So slight drop off, but
Yeah.
not anything too serious, I would say.
Yeah. So I had him previously at 0.9. I've dropped him now to 0.8. So effectively done the same thing you said, which is I've added more uncertainty to the pen situation, and I don't think anyone other than Jimenez would even be a part of the conversation. So
Yeah, I agree.
Cali is saying, don't agree, Kim. If Bayern played today, I'd risk it, but it could be 0 points. And if Bayern get a big win, why would he risk him in the home tie if he's carrying an Achilles problem? So you're right. There is a chance that he would play 0 minutes, but that's why you have 15 players, right? And for the second game, if that's going to be the case, Bayern play on the first day because they're playing on the second day in Matchday 9. They would play on the first day in Matchday 10. So I would still field him. If he doesn't play, fine, I'll sub him out. So I don't see that as a huge problem as long as I have other players who have fairly secure minutes. Like, for example, right now I have Theo Hernandez in the team and Victor Gyökeres. And just to update people, Gyökeres, there's a slight chance that Gyökeres might also be out. Or rather, he is still unfit slightly, so there's a chance he could get subbed out early or stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to go for him, which means that I'm securing minutes in all my other positions, so I can afford to take a risk. And that's, I think, a perfectly fine risk to take.
And also to add, we also have we have transfers before the second leg. So
two transfers. Yep, that makes sense.
And yeah, and we have a pretty robust team. Like I don't think we will. Like I think like the biggest risk if we pick Atalanta players, but I think other than that, our teams are pretty robust, so
Yeah,
we won't really need any transfers anywhere else.
yeah.
And so if Kim happens to be an issue, you can just deal with him without transfers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. I was talking to. Oh, I think. Sorry, I was talking to Mo yesterday, and I think I mentioned it or maybe not that I don't want to book in free transfers, but at the same time I know that they're there. So I don't want to go for Retegui and Gyökeres, for example, today because there could legitimately be a case that neither of them start in MD10, and that would be a real problem for us. But I can easily skip all of that and have those two free transfers as contingencies with, let's say, some outcomes that there is a chance could happen. Like for example, a random injury, right? That's easily possible because the return leg is next week. So unlike
Yep.
most Champions League games, there isn't enough time for players to recover because when it's the group stages, you have 2 weeks. So there's chance that players would miss out on two domestic games, but then recover for the Champions League game. But in this knockout playoffs, it's unlikely to happen. So I still think, like Mo said, the other picks are very robust, and that's the reason why I'm going to probably transfer out Theo Hernandez, Zappa Costa, and Gyökeres, just to make it more robust.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. Yeah.
So I have a rudimentary solver for UCL which I haven't used in a long time, but I ran this team through, or rather I ran the expected value through that solver, and I got this team. Now, uh, the 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 obvious assumption was that Gyökeres is fit. If Gyökeres is not fit, then I think the draft would slightly change. But the only changes are Jim City comes in for Zappa Costa, Upamecano comes in for, who was the other pick? Theo Hernandez, and Pulisic comes in for Olise, and Rui Patricio comes in for Di Gregorio. Now, obviously, the solver does not care because I have not introduced uh, the the propensity to save free transfers. So, because it wants to use two free transfers, it's doing Patricio to Karnesecki for MD10 because it's
Yeah.
assuming that
Okay. That's
there's no other, there are no
yeah.
other fires to put out.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, yeah, it
yeah,
makes sense like if you like yeah, if you totally ignore the possibility of an injury, it doesn't make sense. But of course,
yeah,
we can do that. So I guess yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
and the other move was
the
Gyökeres.
funny thing is like both.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying the funny thing is both keepers play on the same day. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's not really a.
yeah. That's
Sorry.
also true. I was about to come to that, and then the other thing is
Yeah.
Gyökeres to Retegui was the other move. So uh, not going to go for that, but I think one of the moves is sort of interesting, right? Because that is what I'm eyeing as well, which is Gyökeres to Retegui. I think that move makes a lot of sense. If Gyökeres were 100% fit and I knew that he was playing 90 minutes, which is, I still don't know if that's necessarily false, but just the uncertainty around it has gone up massively in the last 24 hours. So I don't know why that has happened. Maybe it's just mass hysteria. I don't know, but it's essentially it has happened. And you pointed out the same thing to me before I said that to you. So it's, you've heard it from perhaps other sources, perhaps the same sources. I mean, we run in very similar fantasy football circles anyway, so it's not that we have massively different sources, but could be, right?
Yeah, like about Gyökeres, like I've seen a sporting club fan account on Twitter,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I think there have been a few reports of him like either missing training completely last night or having to do partial training. I've also seen them say that Harder's probably going to start tonight. So
Oh.
like while it's not totally confirmed, I think it is enough risk. It is enough risk to just probably go somewhere else for this game. Because even if he does start, it's probably gonna, or not probably, there's a good chance like Harder would come and take minutes because I think he's also been playing pretty well. So if Gyökeres isn't fit, so the Gokri isn't fit, he can take good enough minutes.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Mel's
So,
in the chat. Hi, Mel. Mel is saying Mo had cap on Musiala, by the way. I mean, he did captain Salah. When was it? I forgot what game week it was in FPL, but there was that meme for a few weeks in the group chat. Uh, so yeah, he could go for it on day two. I'm pretty sure he's going to captain Dembele today.
yeah. Dembele today and probably Kane tomorrow if it doesn't pay off, but
Yeah,
maybe Musiala for the memes, yeah.
yeah, that's actually. I mean, day two is always tricky. And coming back to your team, one thing that is oddly satisfying in this team is the money in the bank, because for all my drafts I'm having like 5-6 million in the bank, which is making me think surely there's a better use of that money. But the only way you can use up all the money is by having all three forwards premium premium forwards, because otherwise you're going to always have that money in the bank.
Sorry, I think my internet has completely acted up. Can you repeat that again? 'Cause
Oh, no, sorry. I was saying that.
heard what you said. So
So I was just pointing out that your in the bank is oddly satisfying because it's so low compared to most drafts that I've seen where people have 5-6 million in the bank.
yeah, I mean, I did have that earlier because in earlier iterations of my draft, I had Retegui instead of Vinicius.
Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, I did have that at some point, but of course, as we have discussed, just my fear of Gasperini's rotation had just made me go there, and I think I'll probably either pretty likely end up on either Vinny or Haaland, so probably have less money in the bank than most. But yeah, but I did have a period of time where I also did have a ton of money in the bank as well.
Hmm. That makes sense. So Abdul is in the chat. Hi guys. Hi Abdul. Mail is saying true, never forget. Gautam is saying, hey, no Madrid assets. So it's interesting, right? And this is, I think, the point where Mo and I are currently differing the most right now, which is that Mo has both Real Madrid forwards and I have none. I have, in fact, the Man City forward. So I don't think Mo is 100% locked, like he pointed out at the beginning of the stream, that he's still uh, trying to figure out if he should go for Holland instead of one of the two. I think he said he was pretty set on Mbappe, right? Mo?
Yeah, I think Vinny is definitely like outside of the supporting cast on defense. Vinny is probably the most fragile pick at the moment.
Hmm.
Like he is to me very close with Haaland and very close with a punt. It is a punt. If you have a punt on Retegui's minutes, that they will be good in both games. So I will say like this is pretty much like just trying to target how bad Man City have been. But on the other hand, I think as we have discussed, also Real Madrid have pretty much their entire first choice backline out.
Yeah.
So it is very much a coin toss for me. So I think the biggest thing about Vinny is like if Vinny didn't have pens, if Mbappe had pens, I think I'd definitely have Haaland. That's for sure. Of course, Mbappe could take pens, but I think it's likelier to be Vinny based on what we have seen this season so far. But also, there's also Haaland does have the fact that he is a bigger goal threat than Vinny, of course, in terms of npxG and stuff. And of course, he also does have pens. He's at home, so I think this is pretty much the biggest dilemma I have at the moment still.
So just to maybe this helps you out. So I'm looking at the odds for all the strikers or all the players rather. So Holland has projected goals at 0.64. Vinicius is at 0.35, and if I can find Mbappe, which is an alarming sign as it is, 0.42. So Holland is almost at Vinicius plus Mbappe level right now, which is perhaps a sign to go for him, at least for this leg. Because I was thinking maybe I would transfer Holland to Vinicius for the return leg, but right now I definitely go for Holland. Also, when I was finally I got to model Marmoush, right, for the first time, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
I hope Mo is going to be happy with with the EV, but I don't think you're going to be happy because it's not that great, given that he's not on penalties and um, also the fixture is not that favorable. So unfortunately, I don't think you can legislate going for him.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's definitely fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the
There's
minutes are
also the
not
fact
there, right?
that
Yeah.
yep, yeah, just was just gonna come around to
Hmm.
that. He might not even start. Like it could just be Foden, Savinho, and De Bruyne. So yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
as much as much as it would be nice to own him, it's probably not a pick at this stage.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, but not definitely not at this stage. But yeah, I think. But yeah, as you say, Haaland, like there is, as you say, you could just pick Haaland because he's at home, and then you can do Vinny in the second leg if
Hmm.
needed, and that is actually a very good point. Like I think I might do it. I might do that as well now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
The more people converge onto my team, the happier I am because I don't want to move from my rank. If anything, I want to go up, and I think I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall in rank too much.
yeah, but no, yeah, you definitely make good points. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
So
I think
one thing about Vinicius,
maybe
and I had a conversation with Fran. I'm pretty sure everyone who is watching this stream knows who Fran is. So Fran is a Real Madrid fan, and I was talking to him about the penalty situation 2 days ago, and I was assuming that Vinicius is the pen taker, but he seemed to be uncertain because. And I told him that initially when Mbappe took pens, it was literally charity pens that Vinicius gave to him. And later on, in January, when he has taken pens, it's when Vinicius has been injured, right? So,
yeah,
or rather
yeah,
in December. So, I still don't understand. So, he is very uncertain, which makes me think it's more of he's going off of what has happened in the past in the club after Ronaldo, obviously, because while Ronaldo was there was never anyone else on penalties. So I don't know. He seems to be much more uncertain than I thought he would be because I was thinking Vinicius is definitely going to be on pens, but he said it's really 50-50 because so he pointed out to me he thinks Mbappe could take a pen, but then he also pointed out it's uh, in Champions League Vinicius has actually played much better than in the league because he said that in the league Vinicius has actually been bad, which I have no reference point because I don't watch La Liga that much. Uh, and maybe you do, so you can probably comment on it. But that was his reasoning that he was very uncertain because he was essentially making points or arguments from both sides that Vinicius has played well in UCL, so he might end up taking it. But then is the league performance going to overshadow all of that? So he was being very uncertain. I don't know if you're more. I think you are more certain, right? Because you said that Vinicius would take a penalty.
yeah. I mean, I was pretty certain that Vinicius would take it, but now you have planted a lot of doubt in me because I didn't speak to Fran about that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just assumed because at the start Vinny just took every important pen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and as you say, the pens Mbappe had taken were pretty much charity pens because he hadn't really
Mm.
started his life at Real Madrid that well. But yeah, I guess okay, as you say, like Mbappe has been playing pretty well lately. Has been playing very well actually lately. So I guess maybe like if Don Carlo believes in form, I guess he could reward him with pens. So yeah, actually, yeah, I mean that is a very good point. I was pretty certain uh, before we had this conversation right now.
Mm.
But yeah, maybe not. Maybe Mbappe will take. Yeah,
But
and if
I
anything, it
like the
makes
fact
Haaland
that
underplayed.
no, that's right. And also, but I like the fact that because you have both of them right now, you're guaranteed to get the penalty. But I don't know if
Yeah,
it's the best strategy. But like, yeah, there's definitely some uncertainty around it. So let's just quickly get to some of the uh, chat questions. So uh, Gautam is saying thanks. Does your model account for Rudiger's tactics against Arnold? So when I was speaking to Fran, I mentioned this point exactly why I was not going to go for him a couple of days ago, and then Fran reminded me that Rudiger is not fit for this game. So because Rudiger is likely going to be out. I think market has already corrected for that, and consequently, my model has also corrected for that, and which is why I think Holland's expected goals are that high. Because I think if Rudiger were playing, he would definitely be lower than what he is right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good point, and you actually mentioned it to me right before we went live. So yeah, I
Hmm.
think yeah, definitely, and not just Rudiger. Like we have mentioned, it's basically an entire back line. Like Valverde is having to play right back because Vasquez and obviously Carvajal is a long-term injury. I mean, left back Fran Garcia and Mendy may as well be injured.
Hmm.
That
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
And at centre back is Chouameni and Asensio. Like, so yeah, it's not the back line at Real Madrid is definitely not settled at all. So I think yeah, definitely makes Haaland a much stronger pick than he would have been if Rudiger was fit, if
Yeah.
um, Carvajal, I guess, was fit and stuff. Like yeah, I think Haaland is definitely like the more we go on, the more I'm pretty certain I'm going to include him in my team. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to hear that. Gautam is also saying further, can you suggest some differentials to gain rank? Honestly, I'm going to say this, and maybe I haven't thought this through fully, but I don't think these two MDs are the MDs for us to try to target gaining rank. I would rather target that for round of 16, where you would bet on certain teams progressing if you don't have the wild card, and because most of the field has already played the wild card, you would then benefit from unlikely outcomes. So I would probably reserve my the gaining rank target for MD11 and onwards. I don't know if you feel differently, Mo.
No, no, definitely I agree as well because just the way the fixtures are, I think it's just
Hmm.
inevitable you end up
Yeah.
with four Bayern and four PSG, and then you just change around the sporting cast.
Yeah.
But I think like there are some differentials if you're willing to take a punt. Like you could go heavy on Atalanta, but
Hmm.
of course then you run the risk with the minutes being bad. But if you can somehow know what Gasperini does, then I think you will hit gold. You will hit gold because I think like this is probably the third most one-sided fixture of the bunch after Bayern and
Yeah.
PSG. And of course, Atalanta are like if you can grab the right assets, they're fantasy gold. But the issue is like even if you get the first leg right, you might go into next week and the entire 11 is changed. So that's the issue. But like I think Atalanta is definitely they are definitely the biggest potential differentials. I guess that's what I would say. So if you are willing to take a punt to try and climb rank, I think
Hmm.
maybe you try to go for a Retegui or one of the wing backs, especially since Rogeri is out, as you have said.
Hmm.
Other than that, I think it's pretty much yeah, like the way the fixtures are. I think you pretty much the teams pretty much pick themselves. Yeah.
That you make a very good point. It's actually Atalanta who is going to be the deal breaker for teams that want to try to gain rank, and the other uh, thing was the the Atalanta game is going to be on day one in match day 10. So
Yeah.
if you want to bet on some team leaks, or I don't know, Sky Sports Italia publishing or predicting lineups, because uh, the unfortunate thing with Sky Sports Italia is they can only predict Inter lineups from what I've seen. I don't think they have a monopoly, or they have expertise in predicting other lineups, but they seem to get Inter lineups pretty much spot on. So I don't know if sources like that are going to help us. But yeah, I mean, nailing the wing backs like Zappa Costa, if you can get him both games, or if even if you get him for this game and then you switch him out to Belanova, or you switch him out to Posh, who is going to play center back like Mo mentioned in the next game. I don't know, but it's very tricky right now. So probably, I mean, I think both Mo and I are in a position where most picks pick themselves, so it's very difficult to try to be different. The only thing I was going to come to Mo, because you spoke about, sorry, you spoke about four PSG and four Bayern. Any consideration for double PSG defense instead of triple attack?
I would say, yeah, there have been some. Like I have definitely considered getting Nuno Mendes,
Hmm.
but the issue is, like, I think the other midfield options are just very much inferior to like to Barcola or Kvara, because you would be losing one of them. Not definitely not Dembele. I think I prefer having Barcola and Kvara rather than getting rid of one of them and trying to buy someone else, because yeah, like I think the rest of the midfield options aren't that great. Like even Atalanta, like we were talking about their differentials, like both Di Cataliari and Retegui are forwards. Lookman is out, so even in that sense, even then I don't really have that. I don't really like the differentials in there.
Hmm.
But I think like it could definitely be viable. You can get double defense and get someone like Pulisic, because of course Pens probably Pens, and he's been playing. Like, he is a good asset, of course.
Hmm.
Maybe Timber, as you mentioned earlier, with the Pens now that Jimenez is gone. But I think I still prefer the triple midfield PSG, the triple PSG midfield for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I think, see, when you subscribe to analytics, it becomes easier to either way. Even if you have to triple up on a defense, if you have to triple up on attack, I think we are now well versed with dealing with outcomes to a certain extent. Obviously, it's still tilting at times, but I mean, I think we are ready as we can be. Even if all three of them blank, so be it. I mean, there's very little you can do about that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree.
So just to complete Gautam's questions, he's saying, is captaining Hakimi a bad idea? So the lineups are out. So let's quickly have a look at the lineups. Uh, if Hakimi is starting, obviously, but if there's a slight chance he doesn't start, then we probably have to go for Nuno Mensch anyway, and then go for, I don't know, if people want to go for double defense, then William Pacho.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. The
Hey,
webs.
there is a bombshell. There is definitely a bombshell in this 11.
Oh, I still, it's not loading at my end. So, oh yeah, okay, it is.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, okay, okay. So I think our decision is made for us. Kvaratskhelia is not starting.
Okay.
Let me
That, that,
quickly
that-
update the ticker. Kvara is not starting. Wow, that is crazy.
that is big, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't publish captaincies because he was number 3 captain for today. So I have to update this now, which is okay. There was always a slight
Yeah.
chance, but it still feels kind of crazy to me that he's not starting.
Yeah, because I mean, he just came
Wait,
into the team
who
and
is?
yeah, just started.
Oh my God, Desiree Doué is starting. I mean, Ramos has to. I mean, Ramos probably is going to be moved on, right? If you can't start over
Yeah, yeah,
Desiree
Ramos.
Doué, that's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, Ramos, I think, is pretty dead.
Yeah,
Like Dewey. I think Dewey had started like he started versus City in that win they had, and he started versus the other team they played. I think Stuttgart. Yeah. So I mean, even then he started ahead of Ramos, and now there's Guevara as well. So yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, he's pretty done at PSG, to be fair.
yeah. Okay. So just to answer Gautam's question, yes, there is a case to be made for Hakimi because he is now the third best for captaincy today. So I would consider that, but I think I would still go for Dembele. I just think the the outcome excuse me, the variability of outcomes with Hakimi is not as oh my god, my throat is not the variability of outcomes is not going to be too great with Hakimi as it could be with Dembele. I just want to go with that for today. And tomorrow, I think you could maybe gamble. Actually, you should do it the other way. You should probably gamble on day one and go for a safer pick on day two. But I don't know, man. Do you see a world where you wouldn't captain Dembele? Mo,
I think I'm pretty
yeah,
set on
okay.
Dembele, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty set on Dembele, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, if you are chasing rank, I guess this could be a way to to increase your risk. Since, as you say, like, yeah, Hakimi is still a pretty fine option.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be totally against it, but in my preference is Dembele for sure.
That makes sense. I'm just going to post the captaincy matrix before.
There's also, like, with Dembele, there's also a slight chance he's on pens. It's probably not gonna be that high. Like, it's probably gonna be Vitinha. But I guess, if he's on a brace, for example, I think they might let him take for a hat trick. Maybe to just give him pens straight away with how well he's been playing. As we mentioned before, maybe if a manager believes in form, they might do it. And I
Who?
mean, he did score a pen this season as well, so
Sorry, who
there is a
who are you
slight
talking
chance
about?
he
I
got
missed that.
pen. Dembele.
No, Dembele is the penalty taker because he took. Sorry, he is not a guaranteed penalty taker, but he is definitely in the conversation now because previously we had a lot of uncertainty with Vitina taking pens, Dembele taking pens. I think Kolo Muani took penalties when he was at PSG, so we had a lot of players who were taking penalties, but I think for now we can safely assume that the primary penalty taker is likely going to be Dembele.
I mean, I think I looked at our transfer market a few days ago, and I think they had 3 pens this season.
Yeah,
Vitinha took and scored 2,
yeah.
and then Dembele took one when Vitinha wasn't on the pitch and scored. So that's just the only thing that's making
Didn't
me
Kolo Muani
lean
take them
towards.
in the cup? I thought he took them in the French cup.
Okay, maybe what I looked at was just league pens.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me check.
I'm pretty sure he
But yeah,
did because he didn't start a
yeah,
game,
maybe.
but he came on and took a pen because I remember seeing not start or something, and then there was a penalty against him. But maybe I'm remembering something else. I don't know.
No, I think you might be right, but what I was looking at probably was just league pens.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually, league pens are you should weigh them like 90% because cup penalties are always up in the air. You don't know who has started the game, what the situation is. They could be 4-0 up because I think one of the situations where Kolomwani took a penalty was when they were 3-0 up, and he took a pen to
Yeah,
make it 4-0. Which I mean, that's anyone could take that penalty, right?
yep.
Okay, I think we have the captaincy matrix. I've put it out. I'm just going to share it here. Just give me a second. We have to do the same thing I did last time because we are dealing with horizontal images and it's not they don't work the best.
Yeah, no problems. Take it on.
Oh, okay. This actually worked out extremely well. That's crazy.
Nice.
Unexpectedly. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so there you have it. Uh, Dembele, Holland, Akimi, and just the final bit that Mo needs to get Holland in his team. And and then the other for Wednesday you have Kane, Musiala, and Kim.
Yeah, interesting. Just catching up with comms. Karnesecki apparently traveled with
Yeah,
the team and is expected to be available.
yeah.
Just
Karnaseki has
just
travelled, which I still am on the fence, but I think it's good enough to probably gamble because the game is early kickoff tomorrow. So if he doesn't
Yeah,
start, just don't play him, and then you get him for the next leg anyway.
yeah, for sure. The good game, the better game anyway is the second leg, because that's the one at home, and yeah, it's not like the other goalkeepers on the second day are great. So actually, yeah, that's I probably will go there now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mel, you just sent me a team. I'm going to respond here because I can't be bothered to type it out. Uh, so, Gyökeres is an injured out, so I probably wouldn't have him. Um, Theo is on two yellow cards, so think about it. If he gets suspended for the return leg, then you have to make a transfer there. Hansko, I'm not going to advocate going for him, even though he is high on EV. The problem is the same problem that is with, and I'm probably going to write this out on the Patreon on the Patreon post as well. That there are two players that are really being problematic. One of which was Nordi Mukiele for Leverkusen, and then the second one is Hansko, because both of them have previously played in a fullback position and now are playing centre backs. The data, it's going to take some time to catch up to their new positioning. So even though Hansko is good on set pieces, it's not the same as playing a fullback and constantly being near the box and in and around the box. So I probably would not go for Hansko and Guardiola as well. I wouldn't go for any City defenders, honestly. Other than that, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Sorry,
of course I
you
can't see
can't
the
see
team
his team
unfortunately, but
exactly. I was going to say,
yeah,
don't worry about it. It's pretty similar to ours with the differences I've already talked about. Um,
yeah,
Let me quickly go through. We have a lot of questions actually in the chat.
sure.
So,
Let's see.
is Foden a good asset for this match day? Not according to the data model, but I'm not going to argue against him because at least for this home fixture, I'd try to go for him. The problem is what Mo has mentioned, that uh, the players we were sorry before now that Kvicha is not available, maybe there is actually a slot for Foden, honestly,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's true.
so yeah, there's actually some consideration here now. Yeah, I would say yes. He's definitely worth considering. Jude
Yeah,
Bellingham,
yeah,
by the way,
sure.
before people buy him, he is also on two yellow cards. So that's the only consideration again with him, to not have him perhaps in your team.
I just remembered something. I think Feyenoord sacked their coach yesterday, right before the game. So
Yes, and
Pulisic
that
against
yeah
the manager
yeah yeah
Feyenoord,
yeah.
maybe.
That actually that makes sense because I was uh, I was looking at their moves and they basically sold probably their one of their only world class players or near world class
Yeah.
players. They do have Paixão and probably Calvin Stengs, I would say, were close to that, but I think Jimenez was in a league of his own, and now they've sacked their manager. So seems like they are intent on self destruction. Oh, interesting quote from Carlo, by the way. Penalty takers, I will decide before each game. It can be Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappe, Modric, or Arda Güler. This is just
I mean,
this guy.
this does sound very much like a Carlo
Yeah.
quote, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah. Vibes of C. Abdul is saying, which two forwards would you prefer, Holland, Muani, or Girassi? Your thoughts, Mo?
That is interesting. I mean, Haaland, Garassi, and Colomwani.
Yeah,
I think Haaland is probably a tier ahead. So I think like I will go Haaland, and then the other question is Mwani versus Garassi. I mean, it is close, to be fair. It is close. They both have pens. Like, Mwani has had an insane start to life at Juventus. I think he got 4 goals from 4 shots on target or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
I mean, it is tough, to be honest. Like I think there's not much splitting them. The first leg, I think I'll probably definitely go for Moani because Moani is definitely better in the first leg because he's at home. Maybe not definitely, but I think probably slightly stronger than Girassi. But then the second leg it flips and Girassi is at home. So
Yeah.
this is actually I think probably between the two, I think I'll go for Girassi. But it's very close, to be honest. Like I wouldn't begrudge you if you went either way here.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's actually True. Okay, so I'm just showing the lineups here. Okay, am I tripping or should are these fullback positions inverted? Because I'm pretty sure Nuno Mendes is the left back and Hakimi is the right back.
Yeah, it's definitely the other way around. Yeah.
Nah, man. UEFA is so washed, bro. It's crazy.
I mean, and Marquinhos and Petro are also on
Yeah,
the wrong
yeah,
way around.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh my god, that's crazy. uh, let's get to the next. So Trini saying where Gatti. Now Gatti is a very interesting pick, right? I was thinking of him and I looked at his expected value. It's pretty good. It's he's definitely up there, but I think there's still a whole host of defenders I think who would be so for example, Pacho, Kim, Hakimi, Hien, Marquinhos, Jim City are all above him. So Getty is still there because of all the players that I mentioned, I think Kim is uncertain. So if you really want to go for only nailed defenders, then I think Getty is yeah, he's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, he's definitely not bad at all. I
Yeah.
mean,
In fact, you could go
I
for
think
double
probably
Juve defense, right? You could go for Di Gregorio and Gatti and just go
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
absolutely, you could
Yeah.
definitely.
Are you going for Karneseki? I think I'm definitely going for Yeah, the problem with Karneseki is I can't go Mainian if I go Karneseki. That's the only thing.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's tough actually.
Ah.
I mean, we could, I guess, like, I think we can. I mean, I wouldn't say confidently say because this is a Gasperini team, but I guess there is a good chance we get starts out of two Atalanta wingbacks in the first leg, since Ruggeri is out. But I guess the second leg would be an issue. But so I mean,
So
you
this is
know,
where I
we
am right
could.
now. I have Gatti in the team right now, but I don't know. This Kvaratskhelia news has actually thrown me off completely. Now I need to reevaluate if I can actually reduce my risk and instead of going Zappa Costa, I go for Pacho or Nuno Mendes.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going Pacho just because the ball recoveries are just off the charts with him. If
Yeah,
anyone
that's
didn't know, he's just a monster when it comes to ball recoveries. So this is not probably the best game. Neither is this one, to
yeah,
be
that's
honest.
definitely fair.
But I think there's like, if you look at his average, he has like eight point something ball recoveries in the group stages per match, which is like almost 3 points as a given. So yeah, I'm a little thrown honestly. Anyway, let's cover Kardaseki traveled with the team. Yes, Trini saying I'm on double PSG
Yeah.
defense and Pulisic, absolutely viable. I think I'm probably going to go there now because of this news. Calais saying interesting to hear your take on Barcola versus Quara, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, who knows what UEFA consider as ball recoveries, but yeah.
Yeah, that's also facts actually. FPL McFred is saying no Kolumani love from the model. I mean, honestly, he's not faring badly in the model. It's just that other strikers are faring better, which is always the case when people always point out a player which we are not going for. So, for example, if I look at the model right now, you have Kane, Holland, Gyökeres. Let's exclude him for now. So, Kane, Holland, Retegui, Luke De Jong, Girassi, Akhtar Koglu, Mbappe, Felix, Rafael Leao, and all of them are have more EV than Kolomoani. So I mean, you can probably exclude Felix because I don't think he's going to start, but there's still a lot of players there.
I think my internet is actually acting up a little bit, so I mean, if you'll excuse me, I'll just go reset my router. Two
Yeah,
minutes, I'll
yeah.
be back. Okay.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, excuse me for a second.
Okay, so which city mid do you feel is better for MD9 only, Foden or KDB? Foden, definitely. The model also says that Foden is much better. Abdul. T1 says pretty set on Dembele, Barcola, Musiala, and Pulisic in midfield, but uncertain about the fifth one. Currently on Olise, but are there any other interesting shouts except for Foden? So let's quickly go through the model and see which players are popping for this game week. Uh, yeah, Quentin Timber is the only one, but I don't think anyone is going to go there honestly, just because Feyenoord have sacked their manager like Mo said, and it's really uncertain. So there's that. Okay, so T1 is saying I prefer Mendes over Pacho. Think he has more upside due to attacking potential. That's true, but okay, I can actually look at odds and see where what Nuno Mendes and Pacho have, because fortunately we have expected assists and expected goals from market for the PSG game. So if I look at only defenders, yeah, Nuno Mendes is second only to Hakimi. So Hakimi has zero point 0.3 expected assists and 0.13 expected goals, and Nuno Mendes has 0.18 expected assists and 0.06 expected goals. So yeah, there's definitely a case to be made there, because for example, if I look at Willian Pacho is on 0.13 expected assists, which is quite similar to Nuno Mendes to be fair, uh, but again his goal threat is less, is 0.04. So you have to decide if uh, that difference is enough to forego ball recoveries, because I think ball recoveries are a huge part of Willian Pacho's appeal, and also the fact that he's nailed for all the games that they're playing. So I don't know, it's pretty close. Are you back?
Yeah, can
You
you hear
back?
me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm fine now. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, McFred is, so we were just discussing Pacho versus Nuno Mendes. I don't know if you heard that last bit, but okay, let me do this. Let me quickly publish or rather generate a graphic for expected goals and assists for some players for odds that we have. Because I was looking at odds, and actually Willian Pacho is not that far off Nuno Mendes for expected goals and assists on odds.
Actually, okay, that's actually interesting. That
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Neither
Yeah,
would I, honestly.
yeah, that's interesting for sure.
Okay, let's do. Okay, starting with PF now.
I mean, if we're probably buying Paltrow for the ball recoveries more than the XGI,
Oh yeah,
but I mean,
oh yeah,
even then, like the recoveries are just recoveries are just insane in this game. Like you have to be very very attacking in order to be better than someone with a great ball recovery.
yep.
And while Mendes is a decent attacker. He's not he's not Hakimi or something like that. So yeah, that's. I think I'm still with you on saying that. Yeah, I'll probably rather have Pacho as well.
Absolutely. I think that makes sense. Nuno Mendes. Kenny Lala is always high up on. Is pretty high always on expected goals on odds, and I think that's because he has some penalty share. He's taken penalties for start Brest before. I don't think that's we always want that, and I think did you own Emre Can for his penalty in MD2?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had our quota of defenders taking penalties. I think I'm good for the season. I don't think I need to chase that anymore this season.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really need to chase any defenders on pens again after what happened in AFCON Fantasy a few years ago. But yeah,
Fair.
remember in Sweden?
Yes. I knew
Yeah,
you were going to go there. So yeah, that's more than fair.
Yeah, yeah, that guy was insane, right? I mean, not a lot. Because according to FIFA, he's not even eligible. Like that didn't happen. So I mean,
That's, I
it's
always like to point that out to people because it's just such an interesting factoid, right? That his entire career was just nullified by FIFA.
yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, and all that for I think if all that happened because he got 10 minutes for Spain's under 21s like
Yes.
10 years ago.
That's
It's insane,
insane though.
right?
I mean, you have to sort of use some sort of common sense, right? You can't just, do this stuff. But I mean, I'm not going to expect common sense from FIFA ever.
Yeah,
Can
so
you read the chat if you can just, maybe
yeah, yeah.
address any questions because I'm just trying to get the graphic together for us to talk about.
Hind in the chat saying that he didn't know he could have 4 players, but yeah, now we're in the knockout rounds in the round of 16. Sorry, in the knockout rounds you can have 4 players, and each round I think it increases. Like I think in the quarters you can have 5, and in semis you can have 7, something like that. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if I
I
remember
think
correctly.
because this is the
Yeah,
first time we are having this additional knockout playoffs, it won't change for the round of 16, but it would change for
it won't
quarterfinals,
change
like Mo said. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, now you can have 4 players if you don't know, which is we're putting to use, of course, with 4 PSG and 4 Bayern players as well. So, Aich in the chat is saying who we're replacing Kvara with, and yeah, that was interesting. I was just about to come to you. I think mostly on Pulisic, but
Yes. Yeah.
there is like um I guess Foden, but I think I'm more on Pulisic, to be honest. Like I'm more interested in Pulisic to be my replacement.
No, I think I'm definitely going for Pulisic now, just because I want that pen share from that game. I was a little uncomfortable with not having any pen share from that game, so now it also scratches that itch.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm quickly going to switch to captaincy for a second while I post this, and then we'll have that right up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
I will do the same. I think I agree for sure.
okay, so I think
So, but
team odds is
like,
fine.
but yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so these are the market odds, goals plus assists for select players. I don't know if it's visible. I just had to weed out players who are not starting because obviously markets don't care about that. So we just have. MK is saying, never in my life thought it would be a tough decision to decide between Mbappe and Kolo Muani. To be fair, Luis Enrique had to make that decision and he chose Kolo Muani. Just saying.
Only to choose Desiree Doué after 6 months.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's not talk. For the convenience of my argument, I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah.
He was immediately discarded after that. But yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's definitely fair to be. It's definitely fair. As we have discussed, like Mbappe does have pen share, but Colomani has 100% pen share. So yeah, I mean, while Mbappe does have pen share, it's definitely not 100%. So you could just go for Colomani, I guess. And on paper, the fixture is better, of course. So yeah, I guess you could go there for sure. Like I wouldn't
yeah.
begrudge you going Colomani at all. Yeah, McFred is also saying he chose Dembele when asked to choose between Mbappe and Colomani. So yeah, basically the same point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair, fair.
Abdul is asking about Kim again. I think we did cover that earlier. Where I think both of us are willing to risk him if even if he doesn't start the first game, just because he will definitely start the second game, and you want to have him at home. And it's not like there are any other, it's not like there are any other nailed Bayern picks. Like you have the right back, you could have Leimer or Stanisic. Left back, you could have. I mean, I think Bowie played there last time out. Guerrero, and
Yeah,
I think Davies might be back for the second game anyway. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely risk there. So I think I'll just go with Kim as well.
yeah, absolutely. Um, just an update that Lukman didn't even travel, so that uh, just confirms that he's not going to play.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish. I really like. I mean, I'm pretty confident Retegui will start this one, but if I was confident to start the second one, it'd be so good. But I can't.
I
Can't
think
bring
the
myself to know
yeah
if I can start the
yeah
second game or not.
yeah exactly.
Yeah.
You know what this has now done, because Gyökeres is out and I've done Pulisic obviously for Kvaratskhelia. I honestly think there's a case to be made to just go for Vinny because he's massively owned and nothing else.
Yeah.
Vinny or Mbappe? That's the question, right? That's if I look at this graphic, it's Vinny. Odds are definitely backing Vinicius more than Mbappe, but
Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, it's only slightly, and I guess they also have the same opinion of that we did have before what he said to Fran is that is on pen. So I guess if you do believe that Mbappe is if you do believe Mbappe has a higher pen share than what markets think, then maybe he is the better option. So I guess that's the thing.
yeah, that makes sense actually because we don't know what markets are thinking, right? I think markets do a good job of showing that they are uncertain about certain events, which is great. But at the same time, we don't know that for a fact. We're just speculating based on our past experience. So it's very difficult to
Yeah.
make a definitive statement. Uh, H is saying any concerns over Oli Sexmans? Definitely not. They don't have. So for example, for the first leg, Sane has barely recovered from a stomach bug, and Nabry still is sick, and I think Koman also has a slight injury or something. So they actually don't have any players to play, and
Yeah.
even if they did, I don't think any of them would start over Olise right now.
And Tel is gone now as well. So.
And Tell is gone as well. But to be fair, Tell was never starting. But yeah, you're right. He should get an honorable mention at least. Um, might go Kimmich for safety? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's enough. There are enough avenue to points with Kimmich. There was a case to be made when he was on penalties a long while ago. Uh, I don't know if a lot of people used to play UCL Fantasy back then, but there was a case to be made back then. I don't think there is one now. The BRs and odd assists are just not enough to go for him. Abdul is saying
Yeah, I agree.
I have limitless for MD10. That's actually a very interesting strat. So I have not seen anyone who is on that strategy. Yes, I would go for Guerrero. If you are on limitless for Matchday 10, I think I would go for Guerrero. I also have a wild card in my back pocket. So if I have a lot of injuries, I can go for the wild card. But I think the wild card has to be used for the quarterfinals now. Otherwise, it's just going to be like uh, nerfed if I use it for match day 10.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. But yeah, actually, for limitless 10, I guess, yeah, I think maybe you do go Guerrero then. That's
Yeah,
actually something. Yeah, that's actually. Of course, we didn't know that you were playing
yeah,
limitless, but yeah, I think
yeah. I would also
maybe you
probably go
just
for an Atalanta fullback, like Mo was saying. I think there's uh, more of risk mitigation that you have with the limitless. Now, here's another question, and it's so weird because I understand why you want to play limitless now, I I just feel like the chance has already gone to play it for maximum effect. So I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's. I'm struggling to sort of legislate for a limitless anytime now, like MD10 or MD12, which is the second leg of round of 16. Other than that, I don't think there's a case to be made for limitless.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Actually,
Just
round of 16 second leg would be terrible because you would lose. You would need to pick your wild card knowing only the first leg. You would lose the free transfers for the second leg, and then you'll be
oh
thrust
yeah, of
into
course, yeah, yeah,
quarterfinals with only or four, three free transfers. Sorry.
yeah. Actually, yeah, it is probably
Yeah.
if you still have limitless, it's probably actually the second leg is probably a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
time to play it.
Yeah.
Actually, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. I'm glad I got I got my thoughts in order. So yeah, definitely play it in Matchday 10, but uh, you should definitely take some risks with X minutes, especially for this lineup. I don't know. I would even go for I definitely obviously go for 4 PSG, but whatever sort of injury news you feel like is worth taking a risk on, you should definitely take that risk. I think.
By the way, just to add to what he said I would pick an Atalanta wing back. I think I pick both actually if I was on limitless. Since Ruggeri is out, I think you can
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
safely assume that Zappacosta and Villanova will start. So I think I'd actually pick both.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair assumption actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
If
you could definitely pick with limitless next to these two MDs for sure.
the first game is the Milan game. So you would actually have the benefit of seeing the Milan Feyenoord lineups, and you can get 4 Milan players for that game, and
Yeah.
possibly one Feyenoord player, just to, you know, make maximum use of the lineups that you know, and then obviously if the Feyenoord player doesn't do well, you can transfer him out, sub him out rather, for other players.
Yeah. Sounds great. Definitely sounds good.
McFred is saying I'll never trust Gasperini again after that Retegui halftime sub. I think a lot of people were scarred because of that game, but that actually makes me want to bet more on him. It's just that I want to wait for the second leg and not do it for this leg where the game is on day 2, and I also saw a photo of completely snow-clad Club Brugge Stadium. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't want to fearmonger, but you know,
that is interesting.
there's always a chance. So T1 is saying, what's the current state on Gyökeres? Just a bit uncertain due to injury. If not in Girassi or Mbappe, I'm at over 150-ish. So perhaps it's Mbappe to reduce risk. I think Vinicius. Oh, I'm assuming you already have Vinicius, right? Because if you're looking at risk mitigation, I think Vinicius should be your first point of call.
Yeah, sure.
Is he the second or third most owned player in the game? I think. They don't have the. Okay, I was wrong. Excuse me. So Mbappe is actually higher owned. He's at 28% and Vinicius is at 22%. Unfortunately, we don't have effective ownership. So uh, we will never know if Vinicius was captained more than Mbappe. But
that's actually interesting. Like I remember Vini was like 40 something percent owned and 30 something owned. Yeah. I guess he did get suspended that one game, so
that's the
maybe
one.
I mean maybe his ownership dropped then. But
Yeah. That's the one, because I remember in MD7 I was thinking it's so good that he got suspended, and then he banged in 2 goals and got man of the match, and I was so annoyed because his ownership was massive. And I think Yamal was the only player who had more ownership than him, because for some reason Yamal has been above 50% and he's not dropped, even though he didn't play one of the games, right? I think because of injury, or I think 1 or 2 games he missed.
I think he was injured. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's what you get when you price him at like 7 million or 7.5 million or whatever it was.
Yeah. But I mean, Rafinha is at 7.5, so.
And yeah, that's true too.
Okay, let's do this. Let me quickly pull up what Mel, bro? Mel is just cooking again and again. I don't know, brother. Just settle down on one team, brother. This this uh, this is not helping your case. Which one was the? Okay, I think it's this one. Let's see if I did that right. Yeah, I did something right. Okay, so this is Mel's team. Yeah, thanks Abdul. Best of luck to you as well. So Kane, Holland, Mbappe, Dembele captain, Barcola, Musiala, Olise, Hakimi, Pacho, Gatti, Di Gregorio, Karnesecki, Pulisic, Kim, and Hian. Honestly, this is pretty similar to what I'm going with right now. I have for 13 out of 15. Same because I still have Maignan in goal.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very good. I think
See, the problem with
covered
the
basically like
problem with
all the bases. Yeah,
Di Gregorio Karnesecki is
yeah.
there
I
is
mean,
a slight
looks good for
probability
sure.
that you will have zero goalkeepers.
I think I'm also like something. I think I'm also pretty close at the moment, so I have same front lines in midfield. Yeah, I think I'm just different. The only difference we have is like the defense. The other defenders that aren't the PSG or the Bayern ones. So yeah, like I think 13 out of 15 at the moment.
Okay, so Sky Italia have posted their probable lineup and Di Gregorio is starting in that.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah.
Sorry, Mo, can you hear me or am I not audible?
No, I can hear you for sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. Um, so yeah, I was saying that Karnesecki Di Gregorio combination is slightly risky because you might end up with no goalkeepers. So I don't know if I want to go for that. Okay, so I was looking at Vinicius. Yeah, we don't have the odds for the assist odds for the Dortmund game. Let's see if we have goal scoring odds. Goal scorer market is still not up. The only thing we have is the odds for no goal scorer for either team, which is like
I mean,
9%.
yeah. Can you hear me by the way? 'Cause I think my internet is acting up again. So
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? I think there's some problem with the
I think I'm
internet.
pretty. Yeah, I can hear you, but I think I'm pretty lagged on your. I think I think by the time my voice reaches you, it's a couple of seconds. So I think I might actually just go reset the router again.
No problem.
Sorry for
No.
sorry for
It's
that.
fine. It's fine.
We'll be back in a second.
Yeah, sure. Let me brainstorm some ideas with anyone who is in the chat. Okay, so I'm here right now. I'm struggling to think of. So Karnesecki I would change for obviously, and this is actually 15 out of 15 with Mel, which I don't like. So I'm probably not going to go there. I think I'm still going for Maignan over Karnesecki because I don't like the possibility of not having any goalkeepers. It's fairly low, but I still don't like it. Might be time for Girassi, I think. Oh, so I saw this mentioned in the analytics chat, but uh, there are players who are going to start in this game week who are not added to the game, and I don't think they will be because it's like 30 minutes to deadline. Um, One of them being Rui Silva, who is going to start for Sporting Lisbon, who is the goalkeeper for Sporting Lisbon. So that's a real shame. They just don't invest enough time and people in this game, and it's unfortunate because I'm doing really well, and I would like for this game to be serious, but it's unfortunately not as serious as we want it to be. Hey, I think you're
Okay,
back.
I think yeah, I'm back.
Perfect. Yeah, we've lost the lag as well, which is great.
That's lovely.
I was just talking about
So,
players that are probably going to start but are still not in the game. So Rui Silva, the Sporting goalkeeper, is still not in the game and he's going to start. I think same is going to be the case. I don't think Salih Özcan for Dortmund is going to start, but he'll probably come off the bench. And I think Osuji for Club Brugge might start, and same might be the case with Perisic for PSV.
I mean, that is actually just so funny. I mean, we're literally in the knockout rounds and they still don't have all the players in the game. That's
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And I was
yeah,
telling them before you rejoined that I want this game to be serious, but unfortunately, while these things keep happening, I just don't know how we can, beyond a certain point, we cannot treat it seriously. And I keep doing really well in this game, so I want it to be a serious game, but it's just so bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just deliberating the final position, just trying to think if I should go for Girassi. That's probably the one player I had not thought about as much because he is on expected goals. He is above the likes of Retegui, Mbappe, Kolumuani, Vinicius, Deketelare,
Yeah.
Marmoush. So
Yeah.
maybe there's a case to be made for someone like Girassi. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that it's an away game to start.
I think there's definitely a case to be made for him. I think, like we also mentioned, Kolumane
Yeah.
at the start, but yeah, I mean, Kolumane does play at home. He does play at home first, but then he also will have to play away. So I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. That is true. So 4, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7, and 8. Okay, I like the balance of the team because it's 8 players who play today and 7 that play tomorrow. So that's probably a good balance. But
yeah. I mean,
Olafson is saying, what do you think about Savona? Let me first see if he is in in the game because I think I remember seeing a player who was. Yeah, he is not in the game. That
oh
that
my
was another
God.
player that I remembered because I saw him starting and then he is they added him. Okay, that's crazy. Hmm. Wait, then is he not? Have I? Oh, sorry, my bad, my bad. I have a filter on. Sorry,
Okay.
my bad. Because he's 3.9, which means that he has to have been in the game.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah,
And good to know
Savona has like 5 EV. For comparison, Dembele has 7.6. So just for comparison, yes.
yeah. I
So
mean, actually,
sorry.
that sounds decent. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I think Gatti is obviously should be your first choice. I think Gatti is clear of most defenders anyway.
Yeah, true.
Uh, Hind is saying UCL Fantasy more for than FPL because subs and ball recoveries. I mean, I agree and disagree. You miss deadlines because you forget to make subs. You have to wait till you get the first lineups. Otherwise, you might make a sub who is not starting. Then you lose the points. You sub out. So there's this lot of nuances. And BRs I think is actually a con of the game rather than a pro right now because there is no way to understand how or what is a BR for UCL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And I know
Like
Mo
I'm
feels
like,
as strongly as I do.
yeah. I mean, I don't really feel strongly either way about ball recovers. I don't love them. I don't hate
Yeah,
them. But
yeah,
what I definitely do hate is I do hate what UCL Fantasy considers ball recovers because like it just like no matter what's like website you look at, it just the stats don't match up. So yeah, that's my biggest issue with that. Like yeah,
yeah. Miguel is saying Sporting also likely to be without their two main mid options, Yulman and Morita. Yeah, Yulman is suspended, so there's no doubt about
yeah,
that. Uh, that actually was a thought for me when I was thinking of Gyökeres because Yulman is pretty important to their system, but
yeah,
that's actually true. It's also impacting Dortmund's expected goals, and the good thing is because he was suspended, markets have already captured all of that. So it's not like this is uh, a late decision or it's breaking news or something like that. So markets have already accounted for all of that. Abhishek is saying, bro, I heard that Kim might be rested. Yeah, we've already covered that. We're still going for him probably because we'll have him for the second leg.
yep,
He's saying, you is there any specific reason you haven't picked Vinny and Bellingham? So I'm now leaning towards Vinny. This is Mo's team, by the way. So Mo already has Vinny, but he's deliberating if he should have Vinny. Bellingham I don't have because he's on two yellow cards and he'll be suspended for the return leg if he gets a yellow card, which is quite likely because it's a very tough game. So it's more likely than usual, is what I would say.
yeah.
Mail is saying let's get an updated Mo team. Can you send it to me? If I don't know if that's possible for you. If you have locked in, that is. I don't know if you have locked it in.
I haven't locked it in, but I have made changes. So give me a second.
Let's
I'll
do
send
that,
it
yeah,
to you.
because I think we need to get Quara off our screens.
Yeah, okay. Just give me a second.
No problem. I'll update my team in the meanwhile.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is my updated team.
Just noticed I didn't actually look at my transfers, so I'm making them right now, and I will send it to you. So
Yeah, no
let's
problem.
see.
So this is where I am right now. We'll see if I stick with that. It's just crazy that they still haven't priced the goal scorer markets. Let's see if they have now. No. So if I look at shots on target, Pulisic is close to one shot on target, almost. Uh, it's not good enough.
Okay, yeah, I'm sending you my team right now. So
Yep. Which UCL, Trini saying which UCL rank could be aggregated to FPL rank, to be honest. To be honest, yes, because that would help my rank be something in the millions if you take like 50% weightage for both. Even if I win UCL Fantasy, it's not going to help my FPL rank. Uh, I think it will help Mo's rank because I think he'll get to the low 100,000. I think.
Yeah.
So that would definitely help him. Around 150k, I think. Nils saying thoughts on Pavlidis. So Pavlidis is interesting, right? Because he got an assist, a goal, and a man of the match after his hat trick against Barcelona. Uh, he let me check his odds, goal scoring odds quickly. He is on. So he's on 0.37 expected goals for odds, and he's 12th on the list. So the players above him are Musiala, Barcola, Mbappe, Biereth, who transferred from Sturm Graz to Monaco, Maretegui, Girassi, Gonzalo Ramos, who's not starting, Dembele, Holland, Gyökeres, and Kane. So that's actually pretty elite company, and he's above Kolomuani. So this, yes, there's a case to be made for him because he's definitely on penalties now, I think, which is also boosting his expected goals. He's above Vinny Jr. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most players are
I
right now.
think
Okay, I have your
I
team.
think
Thank you.
yeah, I think his Pavlidis is actually pretty good, but the thing is, I think like Monaco isn't the best fixture. Like I think Monaco have been pretty good.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So like I think like I would like to go for I would like to go for an easier fixture, or for like someone like Haaland, or Mbappe, who is like a player with bigger pedigree, or go for Retegui, someone with a better fixture. Like,
No, that makes complete sense.
but yeah, but Pavlidis is definitely not bad at all.
Yeah. So this is Mo's team right now, and I think it's Mo is cooking. I think we have either 14 out of 15 same. No, 13 out of 15. He has Belanova, which is it's going for a cheeky punt there.
Yeah.
Fair. I would go for it as well.
I mean, like I really want to go for Zappacosta instead of Hien and just go full out. But yeah, I mean, Ruggeri is probably going to be back next week, so I don't think I can go that deep into Atalanta wingbacks. But I think I'm happy to go with one, and then
Yeah, I think I'm going for Zappacosta rather than him.
yeah,
It's literally 50-50. You don't it could be anyone who could be left out. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I do think actually like maybe Zappacosta is better because he can play both flanks, I guess.
Yep.
So
That was my
so
thought.
even if yeah, okay, that's actually a very good point.
No,
So, like,
you
if,
made that point,
if
by the
we're
way. I forgot about it. You made it in the in the beginning of the stream, where you said he could play both flanks. I was thinking, yeah, that's why I chose him. In fact, I had not chosen him because of that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like now that I think about it, it's probably actually better. So if Retegui is back, you could still get Zappacosta, and if he's not, if Retegui is not back, then you're pretty much guaranteed that Zappacosta start in the second leg as well. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's actually so. The team I sent is outdated already. I've got Zappacosta instead of Belanova.
No, that's fine. I think it's at least in the realm of what you're going to go with. Previously, we were far off because we both had Kvaratskhelia in the team.
Yeah. Sure.
For anyone who wanted to maintain status quo with their rank, I think this is the ideal situation for them.
Sure.
Because now you have a case of, you just eliminated so many combinations because Kvaratskhelia is out. Everyone is now going to go for Barcola and Dembele.
Yeah, that's. I did prefer my Barcola holes when they were owned by nobody, but I will take it still.
Fair. I just wish he had a hold when I got him on Limitless, but anyway, he got man of the match at least.
Yeah, he has been very good this season. Like he's been insane.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm pretty much settled on this team. So we have 14 out of 15 similar. 13 out of 15 now. I transferred out Hien for Gatti, which I'm thinking now that I should not do because I think Hien is probably a mainstay, should be a mainstay for my team.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
yeah, it's good. Good to know good to know we have the same we have the same train of thought. To be fair, like,
Yeah. I think as soon as we found out the lineup for PSG, we were always going to converge onto a certain set of players. It's
yeah,
and I think with Holland, I think this conversation helped you, and it sort of reinforced my beliefs as well when I started talking about it. That I think Holland is definitely a good choice for this week, and next week we can reassess. Mel is saying great goalkeeper combo. Mo Abhishek McFred is saying most cooking triple Atalanta defense. Oh, did you think about that by the way?
yeah. I did think. I
Okay,
mean,
so in case you needed both Lukman and Retegui next week, you won't be able to have them.
yeah, that's true.
That's the only consideration.
I think I'm happy enough to be honest. I'm happy enough with my midfield to just keep the five midfielders and just
True,
ignore Lookman and
true.
hope he just since he's just back from injury, hope his minutes will be managed if he does if he even starts at all.
Yeah,
So yeah, I do have a spot open for Retegui because I really do want Retegui, but
same,
I think
same.
this will have to wait for the second leg if it
Yeah,
happens. Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm going to, in an ideal world where no one is injured, I think I'll transfer out both Holland and Girassi, and I'll go
Yeah.
for Retegui and Vinicius.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So Abhishek in the chat is asking any reason we're going for Belanova over Teo, and now I mean I'm going Zappacosta instead of Belanova, but it's pretty much the same. But as we have discussed before, Teo's on 2 yellow cards, and so if he gets another, he will be suspended for the second final game. And I mean, other than that, I also do have a preference for Atalanta defense this week. This MD. But I think it should be fine either way. Like, sorry, but no. The issue with Teo is just the yellow cards. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if you want to risk the yellow cards, I guess you could do it. He would be good option for Feyenoord. But there's just there is the fact that the risk is there. And for me personally, I would like to go for Costa instead of him for that reason.
yeah. Makes total sense. Trini Singh just have Gatti and Hien. I think I'll probably do that because I definitely want to have Hien in the team. I've had him in the draft since the beginning, so I don't see any reason why I'm suddenly moving off Hien. I think Karneseki plus Hien is just putting me off because, but I think Mo is right that the chances that I want Lukman over any of my midfielders is very low. He is not on penalties. Yes, he does have man of the match tax. He is pretty much Florian Wirtz mold where he touches grass and he's already up for man of the match. So there's that, but I don't know honestly. It's very tricky. I think and that's the position I'm struggling with now, which is the only one. Which is do I go for Karneseki?
It would be. I mean, it would suck if he doesn't start tomorrow. But surely, since he's traveling, he should be fine, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean the only thing would be something flares up again during warm up or something like that, and I mean that could happen to literally anyone in football. So I mean that if you want to go with that sort of attitude, you will never buy any fantasy players.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Uh, McFred is saying definitely prefer Hien. This is ball recoveries fantasy. Yeah, I mean, see, that's why I was hesitant to go off Hien in the first place. I'm back on him. I'm definitely going for Hien. Um, Trini is saying Rete played full game in the league, 45 minutes uploading. That was in the back of my mind. Yeah.
I do think like I mean I think he should be safer than usual for minutes because of the injuries. To Lookman, I think there's someone else that's also out. If I remember correctly, who did take some minutes at forward, but I just can't remember who it is at the moment.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
sorry, I changed scenes because T1 has said something in the chat, and I don't want it to seem like I looked at that and then decided to do it because T1, I did exactly what you said. For now, I don't have Neuer. Sorry, I don't have Kim in the team at all because I went for Neuer instead, and that way I can accommodate both Hien and Gatti.
oh, I mean, why do you think of Neuer? I mean, why do we not think of Neuer? That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, but I just wanted on the record that I didn't copy T1's team because he's actually doing better than me, and I don't want to copy his team, but I suspect we're going to end up on like 13, 14 players which are the same.
Yeah, I mean, if I do anything right now, I'm factually copying you and him. So
Uh,
yeah, that's a very good point.
See,
Totally forgot we could just get Neuer. I mean,
most
yeah,
likely outcome is going to be that, and my biggest fear, which is that Bayern are probably going to concede, and once they concede, Neuer just becomes irrelevant, and Kim then just takes over and becomes this ball recovery monster whose floor is like 5-6 points. So
true. That's actually true.
that's my biggest worry, and so I and the Kim is the highest projected player for amongst all defenders in the game on my model.
Yeah,
So I definitely do want to consider Kim, but the only way I can keep Hien and not sort of overload my team with the risks is this way. So MK is saying I think Karnaseki, Vinny, Mbappe ceiling is just higher. I know the risk is there, but you would want them next week anyway. So which is why I'm not saying that that's not a viable approach. I would still encourage people to go for it. It's just that I want to spend free transfers elsewhere, and so I don't want Holland for the game at Bernabeu, and I have to make moves according to that. And Gurasi is perfectly fine for Sporting at home. So Gurasi is not like a forced transfer out. He's just a luxury move. If nothing else happens, I can do that. Otherwise, I'll just do Holland to Retegui and that will be that. And then obviously some other move, like for example, maybe one of the PS. I can't do PSG mids as well. They're at home. Probably Gatti to a different defender, I think. So 7 minutes to deadline. By the way, I would recommend people at least get some version of their team locked in, just so that you don't miss the deadline. Okay, Lees Melo is starting.
but do you actually know what Ruggeri is out with? If it's injury or illness?
No,
If
illness.
it's
It's
injury,
illness.
yeah, okay. I
What
was
do you?
about to I was about to consider a diabolical
I was. Yeah.
Kim to
Yeah.
Belanova and
Yeah.
to get married.
Yeah. I knew
Okay,
it.
yeah,
I knew it.
yeah. You know me too well, so
Yeah. Let's see what Andy Martinez cooked up because I just saw his team on the timeline briefly. Okay. Damn, even Andy has a very similar team to ours. That's not a good sign. I mean, from a team variability perspective, I'm not
Yeah,
trying to diss Andy. Um,
yeah. I mean, it seems very good. Yeah,
yeah,
seems very
I
good.
think Jamie Pino Gittens is probably the only difference, and Schlotterbeck as well. He's going hard on Dortmund. That's very surprising actually. I I would probably have considered Benzemaini, but because he's injured, there's no reason to go for any of them.
Yeah,
The defense is so bad. I mean, it's just a terrible defense.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's no wonder every Chan is now jobless. To be honest, yeah.
Fair enough. That's actually, yeah. T1 is saying yes, it's not an easy choice at all, but 8 instead of 7 tonight has value too. That tips the balance for me. Also great to see your thinking was the same. Yeah, absolutely. Cal is saying thanks for tonight, lads. Been a pleasure tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Cal, and everyone else as well. I'm really enjoying this, even though it's like early morning for me, and I'm very very grateful to Mo for him making time for these streams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy for you to have me here. So yeah, I mean, thank you and thank you for everybody who's watching as well for watching the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Uh, Anything major that we've missed, or I don't think so. I think I don't know how close are you to going for what I have.
I mean, very, very close to be honest. Very close. Like I think I will have to decide in the next 2 minutes. I think I will be on Neuer in the next 2 minutes as well.
Yeah.
You know, the only like if Bayern's game on the weekend was easier and not Leverkusen, I would have been very confident of a Kim start actually. So I would have just kept Kim. But the fact that the game on the weekend is Leverkusen away as well.
Oh.
Leverkusen away, that's the biggest issue.
Oh, and it's like a proper title 6 pointer because
Definitely, yeah.
they have Leverkusen have 3 more draws than Bayern, but they've lost the same number of games. So it's very easy to claw back lost ground.
Yeah. I think if it was any other game other than Leverkusen, especially Leverkusen away, I would have been pretty confident of a Kim start. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, now we can't say.
Excellent point actually, and I should have probably looked at what game they had midweek or rather at the weekend.
Yeah. I think I will go Gatti as well. I think I will go Neuer and Gatti like you did, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just makes too much sense. As soon as I sort of rearranged the players and I got to that, I was thinking, yeah, I'm done now. It's again the Mbappe, Vinicius, Girassi spot is a little uncertain, but other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with the rest of the team.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've made the move. I've done Kim and Karnisecki to Gatti and Neuer.
brilliant. So now we have even less uncertainty in the team, which I like because that just frees up another transfer. I think.
Yeah, and it also frees up another Atalanta slot if we end up wanting Lookman. So that's something else.
Yes. Facts. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm glad I could. I mean, I didn't try to convince you, but I think that the team was convincing enough. Let's just say that.
No,
Yeah,
it's definitely convincing. Yeah.
yeah,
You and the T1 from the comments
yeah,
as well. Like,
yeah,
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 I
yeah.
would be honest. Yeah.
So T1 says, yeah,
Uh,
thanks
uh,
for the stream. It makes the tinkering a much nicer experience. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm glad people can
yeah.
join and just listen to us rambling. Um, I apologize for any silences during the stream. It's still, I'm trying to not overload people with information, and also you don't have to talk every second, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just 1 minute until the deadline, so
yeah,
just make
one
sure
minute.
everybody's logged in.
I'm just going to take a screenshot so we can. I think we'll probably do I'm probably planning on a stream for MD11 because MD10 is going to be very straightforward, just 2 free transfers. not a lot of decisions to make.
Yep.
But MD11 is going to be good. So I don't.
Yeah, we
I'll
should.
probably ask you closer to the deadline, but I would love to have you back for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be here. Hopefully, the time is right, and yeah, if everything is well, hopefully I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's deadline. Hope everyone locked up their teams. Madrid lineup out. Thought it's so predictable, man. This team,
Yeah, I mean, they're
honestly,
actually trolling. They're trolling this.
sheesh.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's zero surprises. We knew this team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
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 The good thing. This is the exact 11 I expected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
There's actually.
I mean, to be fair, looking at the bench, they didn't really have any options, but yeah.
Okay, I think that's that. Again, thanks everyone for joining the stream. Check out the Patreon. There's a lot of stuff that is free to access as well, including team level data and stuff like that. And of course, the player level model is for patrons. So hopefully, the adjustable minutes model is helping people out. And if there are any suggestions, I would love to hear them. One suggestion which I will definitely look at implementing is a color code for Tuesday/Wednesday games, so people can look at players without having to go back to another screen and look at which games are on which day. So I'll try to implement that for MD10. But other than that, yeah. Hope you have a good match day. And Mo, thank you again for joining.
Thank you for having me.